Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the TLR Collection Volume 5. Now before we begin, I have to make a few things known. First of all, it's hot today, fan is on, windows are open, so the fan noise might cause a problem, I'm sorry, but there are more noises outside like construction, you're going to hear vehicles. Again, I'm so sorry, it's too hot and I need to get this video done, so it's going to be awful in the background. So yeah, this is the TLR Collection series. TLR stands for Triton Lego Railway. Despite the channel name change, the concept of my railway will always be a thing, and it will always go by that name. So let's start off with the engines. So with the whole scrapyard massacre that happened not too long ago, a lot of trains died, but some of them survived and came back. So we now have, I didn't count it, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I have 9 trains I have on display up here. These are like my babies. The ones that I kept, the ones that I love and cherish. So along the back we have Stephenson's Champion, the only remaining quadruplex, because it's the one with the XXL wheels that actually worked. In front of that is the Duchess of Hamilton, a train that I didn't think I was actually going to make, and then I made it, and it looks so good. I'm still pleased with how that looks. It's honestly one of the better models I've made, mainly because it's actually based on a real train. And I can understand that when people make their trains, obviously when the models are based on real engines, it looks good. But the ability to make your own train is obviously so much better. Just do that, for God's sake, what's wrong with you? Stevenson's Rockets, because the Rocket is cool. I love the Rocket. One of the more recent survivors, the Orange Bullet, is here, a lot smaller. It is a very tidy, clean like an engine, very cool indeed. We have Big Red, the Quintuplex, half of the face of the Triton Lego Railway, because the other half is the Emerald Champion. 2 Quintuplexes, they're both fighting for the position of face of the railway. Which one do you think should be like the top dog? Let me know in the comment section, that'll be interesting. The Blue Guardian is back as well. This is motorised. This is the only train here that is motorised. There's a little section in the tender. I'll take that bit off there. Where the power functions all sit. There is a motor underneath all of this, powering it all. And it looks absolutely stunning. This, along with the Orange Bullets, well, and the Stephenson's models, I suppose, are using the XXL wheels, which are a bit controversial because they do work, but the problem is, when they were put with others, they would derail. So I'm going to try a couple more experiments after I record this video, and hopefully it all goes well. If it does go well, you'll see those videos later on. Excellent stuff. Speaking of the Blue Guardian, some of the parts, after it was taken apart, were made into this. Thomas the Tank Engine. I mean, why not? This was what the what's it called? The Advent Calendar train was actually going to be, because it was a blue tank engine, and a lot of people were comparing it to Thomas. I said to people, you know what, this is probably as close to Thomas as I'm ever going to make. But it's here now, and it looks absolutely amazing. It's the 3rd train I've built that's based on a real engine. So obviously this one, the Rocket and the Duchess, obviously. And we go from the biggest to the smallest. Yes, this is smaller than Stephenson's Rocket. This is a little tiny engine that was inspired by a model I saw on Flickr. It was a really cool model. He spoke to me as well. He was like, I'm amazed that I was the inspiration for the model. We had a little chat, and again, it was really cool. He was over the moon with the result. And this is basically the Contraption Mark III. That's what I've labelled it as, because the other 2 are gone. The first one was a really cool model. The second one was just a placeholder, but that's been scrapped as well now because it was a bit shit. This, however, this is a cool little steampunk model. I like this. It's staying. So those are the remaining trains on my railway. These are the ones that will be pulling all the goods and the passenger cars and whatever else. Let's move on. Tell you what, let's move on to the track first, because it's all kept in this one drawer. Oh shit. Okay, so inside I have plenty of straight pieces, but underneath all of this are curved parts. There's fucking loads of them as well. This is why I put all the straight track on the top, because I need to get to them first. There's about 3 times more curved track parts than I do straight track. It's unbelievable. I've got a couple of these 9-volt motor remote controls, which is pretty cool. I have the setup for a couple of them. Behind there you can see in the darkness the wires. Oh, there we go. So in the back, in the center of your screen now, is the wires and the rest of the setup in order to get that to work. Sadly, it's all too dirty and all too manky for them to actually function. I tried cleaning some off, but you know, it got a bit boring and a bit tiring, so I thought, fuck it, I'll just rely on the modern power functions. So, not the best luck ever, but that was all of my track. Let's move on to rolling stock. I've just got to shuffle over to the other side of the drawers. I'll keep it all in here now. So I have tidied up. So in here, these are like my special coaches. I have the Metroliner Express in here, or at least I should have. There should be 16 coaches. I didn't actually count this, I'm a bit worried now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, that's all in there. Okay, good. Also in here are my 2 Emerald Knight coaches. They are still built up. They will forever be built up because they are awesome. This is a combination of the 2 small coaches from a vintage train set. It's a very cool looking model. I really do love this. It has these special wheels with the little plough thing on the end underneath. I don't like them because they make a really loud screeching noise when you pull them along the tracks. It's awful. But for the sake of getting some buffers on these, they have just those planted on there. In the back corner is a yellow diesel. This is an old train set that my dad has. I've rebuilt it for him. I made a couple of modern modifications. But this is still a one piece. It has 9-volt motors for the wheels, just for the 6 of those being there. There is actually a guy in there. See him? Blue hat? It's quite good actually. I do like that big door as well. It's a bit interesting how he has to duck underneath the windows and then get his way out. That's not that bad. Nice little diesel. Sadly, no diesels allowed on my railway. Because it's a diesel. Can fuck off. I also have the jet engine, of course. Thomas and the Jet Engine has now been completed, because that is my favourite Thomas episode. Before Thomas was made, it was the Advent Calendar, Tank Engine, and then this. And now with the updated look, I can eventually attempt to make that episode a reality. Well, as a Lego concept. That'd be pretty cool. I'd love to do that. Ah, excellent. So that's one drawer. I'm going to have it that way. I'm going to shut that one slowly and carefully. Don't want things breaking. I'm going to go into this one. So this is more rolling stock, if anything. Like freight stuff. So interestingly enough, tell you what, let me clear this out of the way because there's quite a whack here. So the things I put in first are actually the Christmas stuff. So to anyone who stuck around Christmas time last year, I took 2 of the 2016 Christmas train sets and made them into one big engine. And I did that with the rolling stock as well, which was really cool. Sadly, the train no longer exists because I used it to make Big Red. But this is the 2006 model. I just need to get a new roof for it, that's alright. Have the original flatbed for it. This is a custom flatbed that's just carrying snow because Christmas theme. The OG coach, slightly modified because of the lack of windows, which is again a problem, but I might be able to fix that now actually. We can actually fix that, okay. Another custom flatbed. These were all made to hold like toys and whatever else, obviously, when you see the sets. It was actually, this one actually used to be a bit taller, but obviously had to make other things or nab some parts, but it's still pretty well intact. We have the double Christmas tree wagon because I didn't want to have 2 Christmas tree wagons. I may as well put them both onto one, just make life easier. We have the, I tell you what, instead of dancing around with the camera, let me try and pull this one out because this is actually really good, this coach. Swap hands quickly. Oh, there we go, right. But the small coach that you get, it's a bit shit. So I put the 2 together, and look at this. I absolutely love this coach. Very Christmas themed, suits it very well. There are other people that actually have made this a thing, but the other people that have done so have made a much better job than I have because they put some more details and decorations on it. Very cool coach. Another thing I've got is the small Christmas tree carrier flatbed, which is again a really cool thing. The Christmas caboose, so it's this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, and that train. That's the one set. So these three here are the combinations of the modern Christmas train set, which is not too bad. That's again a complete custom. And putting them all together, it does look pretty good. I am a bit confused as to whether this was meant to be the Christmas coach or not, because it's green and it actually does look good. Yes, it's part of the 317 set, but I reckon it's a big fucking conspiracy because it looks so much better with the Christmas tree. I don't like it. The red caboose as well, because red. The oil tanker, big old fat oil tanker, looks good as well. The hopper is here as well, keeping that alive because that's more cargo. It's nice to have some cargo freight because cargo freight, well yeah, obviously. Cargo rolling stock, that's what I meant to say. I have too many coaches, so yeah. Moving on. I think that's the only remaining thing I have from the 2014 blue diesel train sets. It's the small wagon that has, well, it holds like animals, livestock. It's a bit interesting actually. I think, yeah, that is the only thing I've got left. Oh dear, that's not good. This is the only thing I kept with the hobby train set. If you haven't seen that series, then please do, because it's an absolute banger of a series. One set, 30 different models, is brilliant, and since this was a freight rolling stock thing, and it was an empty truck, so I like that, so I decided to keep that one. We also have, I'm missing out on a few things, let's go a bit further back. The shell wagon, this is a really old thing. This looks familiar, I think we had one of these before, but this was given to me as a part of a Bricklink deal that went a bit sour, so yeah. Got some vintage, we've got plenty of vintage stuff down here. We've got the hoppers, very easy things to make. We have, again, this is pretty much the same thing, just with the moving doors this time. Special flatbed with the Brick Show 2017 brick on it. Literally that's all that's going to be carrying. The oil tanker, which is a really cool set, I do love that one. The other oil tanker that I showed off was taken apart. The barrels were put onto a couple of my trains because they looked really cool. The flatbed itself was actually kept intact, so I found these two little cargo containers and stuck it on there to act as a little just flatbed wagon. These are actually removable, he says. There we are, so 4 studs keeping them all together. Lovely jubbly. So I'm going to keep that one there. And yeah, that's more of all the freight rolling stock, a couple of passenger coaches as well, of course. Oh, I missed one out. This is a attempted remake for a Hogwarts coach. Ooh. Because with the new Hogwarts Express set coming out, I'm actually looking forward to getting one of them. Hopefully it's not stupidly expensive. But hopefully I can put this coach along with it because it does look quite nice. So yep, that's that one. We're going to move on to the penultimate item, which is the actual scrapyard itself. So all of the items in here are things that were taken apart from other engines. You can see Blue Guardian things, Orange Bullet, White Medallion. This was one of the trucks from the 317 set, but it kept falling apart so much I didn't want it as a part of my set. The 317 train itself, bit of Greyhound, a bit of vintage stuff back there. Yeah, it's just a bit of everything, and these are just things I'm never going to touch again, frankly. Well, for now at least. I may come back to it one day, but for the time being, that's just going to stay there, where it belongs. One more thing! Under here, I've got the rest of my coaches. I have 4 express sets. The Metroliner sets, the Horizon Express sets, which is really cool. I have the, sorry about all the cables. I've got the white Passenger City Express set. Behind there, you can see the red coaches. I have 7 or 8 of them, and that is the latest express set that I got. I've motorised one of those coaches to power it, well, for the sakes of getting, what was it called? What was it? Oh, fuck. It was the Duchess, that was it. I put the Duchess in front of it. Oh, that was a good video actually. And of course you can see the Christmas train station still here, still untouched, because it's a nice looking set, but at the same time it's very fragile and it does get quite annoying to handle. So I've tucked it away where it doesn't bother me. Oh, good lord. So that is everything I have in terms of Lego trains. That's my complete collection, and yeah, it's quite good having a look at of it all again after something like this. And breathe. Sorry, I'm a bit exhausted now. Let's go get a drink, that's a good idea. Right, I shall leave you here. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.